It is 2018, which means a new year, new opportunities, and also a new monthly illustration. Happy New Year, everyone! I hope you guys celebrated and had a great start to 2018. Welcome back to my channel for another year of fun experiences and new illustrations. It is the beginning of January, which of course means another monthly illustration. I have managed to actually keep this series going for 3 months now, which might not sound a lot to a lot of you, but to me it's pretty significant. The interest of doing a series kind of dies off after 2 months, so doing the third month is yes. And I do really want to finish all of the months, and then in November make a calendar so you guys can buy a calendar. I don't know, we'll see what will happen when it comes to that. I'll probably hate the first piece by that time, but we'll see. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am. I really enjoy having a finished illustration every single month and actually having something new to put in my portfolio, and I also love seeing how you guys are inspired to create your own illustrations every month when I do mine. And yeah, I will keep going and you will, I hopefully, stick around. So for the theme, the idea, the composition, all that, for this month was a bit, I wasn't sure what to do in the beginning. It's January, which to me is still cold, still winter like November, but I didn't want to do the same. So of course I had to find some kind of symbolism or something that I could put into the illustration. And I ended up going with, of course, the new year as the start of the new year. Of course, why am I even saying that? But I had to figure out something more interesting than just like fireworks, standing around looking at fireworks. So I wanted to do something a little bit more magical, which I do like to do with my illustrations. December was of course very down to earth, but November was not, and this one will still be a little bit magical. So what I ended up with was putting the same characters that I've used for the 2 other illustrations and putting them in a scene where they're watching the fireworks. But around them flies a lot of little fairy fireflies, and they are shooting up at the sky creating fireworks, which kind of creates this magical feel. And I was thinking, I didn't have this idea when I was like before I started drawing, but when I started drawing the fairies, I was thinking that that it kind of ties it all together. You have this boy watching these fairies sort of ending their past, that previous part of their lives, and beginning something new, because I wanted them to shoot up to the stars and become the Northern Lights or the stars, or it's their mating season or something like that. And it's sad, but also it's beautiful, and you kind of moved by this new beginning. It's very artsy, I guess, what I'm trying to say, but it's a new year is new beginnings, and of course you can start new beginnings any time of the year, but there's something about New Year that I like a lot. Like, it's a fresh start, even though you can have a fresh start anytime, but there's this start of something new, but it's also the end of the last year, which was your old self, and you have to leave that behind, and you grow and you become something new. That's why I was kind of inspired by Butterfly, you know, that goes from larvae to whatever that's called to butterfly, and that's what I wanted to do, and it tied well together in the end. That wasn't what I intended in the beginning. I thought it would just be fireflies flying around, but fairies shooting up the skies, yeah, that makes sense. Setting all that mushy stuff aside, let's talk about the actual drawing of the illustration, and then I'll talk about something else at the end. But if you guys have seen my other illustrations, you kind of know the drill. I do a very, very rough sketch. For these illustrations, I also, after the rough sketch, do a color grading or something to set the mood in the background before I do the line art, and I like fade that out and then I do the line art. Usually I would do a more detailed sketch by this point, but for some reason, as I said before, this past month I have just gone straight to line art, and I've been really enjoying it because it frees me up. I don't have to worry too much about being correct and getting everything right, and it turns out great in the end anyway, so who cares. But if you are new to illustration, I would suggest doing a very rough sketch that shows your composition, then a more detailed sketch where you get all your details, and then you do your line art. So that's a little tip for you. Then comes the fun part, which is coloring, and of course when it's dark it's kind of tricky to get the colors right. So what I do is that I block in all the colors that are the correct colors that would be in the normal light, like white light. So you would see the correct green, the correct red, and all those colors, and it doesn't look right in the whole scene, the whole illustration. But later I will put a blue kind of overlay, multiply. I think I put a blue layer on screen and then multiply, and multiply is a lot lower than the screen one. It just looks like they're in the blue light and no longer in white light, and it kind of unifies all the colors, which was really nice. Also, at the end of everything I do put a color balance filter, which just balances all my bad colors out. I will show that at some point in another video, I think. Also, I have really been enjoying doing a paint over of my line art, and the line art is not always perfect and it's missing something at the end, for me at least, for my style. So I have started to put a new layer on top of the line art layer where I paint some more detail in, because it's just a lot easier than trying to tweak the line art and then tweak the colors. I just paint it in, which is just morphed into kind of my style. So feel free to try it as well. It's really fun, and it kind of makes the illustration kind of feel finished but at the same time sketchy, and I just enjoy it. I'm just gonna continue doing it. Then of course you have all the glowy bits, and if you are wondering how I make things glowy, I do actually have a tutorial and I will link that in the video so you can check that out after. But I wasn't sure, in the beginning I wanted to have all of the glowy stuff turquoise, but I ended up making them a little bit more gold green, mostly because last year around the same time I did a fan comic for Little Witch Academia, one of the episodes, and fairies, butterfly fairies in that episode had like they were yellow but they had a green light, and I really just like the colors and it feels more happy than just blue. So it just made the piece stand out a little bit more from the November piece and actually feel like it's moody but it's also a little bit happy with the yellow, so yay! And the little shooting things are really easy. The fireworks, I mean, it's just a hairbrush and I do some tweaking later, and yeah. So with that part of the video out of the way, I want to talk about what I have decided and planned for 2017. I have some New Year's resolutions. Before, I wasn't into doing that at all, but this year I kind of feel like I want to have some sort of plan. I do have a lot of plans for the New Year's, and both personal and independent art. And one thing that I do really want to do, and I will do, is to illustrate and complete a full children's book and then put it on Kickstarter and get it printed. That's something I will do this year. I have the thumbnails, I have the story, I just need to write it properly and illustrate all the drawings. And if you want to be a part of that journey, you can join me on Patreon. Ooh, she got Patreon. I'm completely new to it, so we will see how it goes. I will be completely open with everyone that decides to pledge and be a part of the journey, and we'll just figure it out as we go. There's different rewards, different tiers, so you guys just decide if you guys want to support me at all or not. It's completely up to you. But I will be working on my children's book throughout the next few months, so there will be illustrations every month, like every week probably, that you won't see on my channel but you only see on Patreon, and maybe one of those speed paints might be up on my channel, but not all of them, which you might lose some stuff on. Anyway, I will share with you the whole process and what I learn and discover along the way, and there's other rewards that's fun as well, so go check it out if you want to. I'll make a proper video later, blah blah. Anyway, also I just remembered that I am going to offer full resolution versions of this monthly illustrations, so if you want to use it as your wallpaper, it will be up on Patreon. So other stuff that I have planned for 2017 is to start to take care of my body more. I feel like I love drawing and love working, and I have a studio job which is a 9-to-5 job, and then coming home and then do my YouTube and all my other stuff, so I pretty much work all week. I do have some time where I kind of relax and watch movies, but I do need to start taking care of myself, which means eating healthy, no sugar, I wish, and also starting to exercise, so that's a really little thing I need to do. For this channel, I will continue with the schedule that I've already set up. I have a few videos that I'm really excited to do. I did buy some arts and crafts supplies that I really want to use on the video, and I found an old comic that I drew when I was 7 years old, and it's hilarious, and I really want to read that. And I will of course do more random character and random creature, and yeah, we'll just keep going, and then we'll see however my channel evolves. Anyway guys, that is all for this monthly illustration. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment down below what January means to you and what kind of illustration you would make, and also what you would think of for February, because I have no idea. But yeah, have a lovely weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye!